In this video, I'm going to share information with you about how you can use ChatGPT to be your own personal weight loss coach to help you lose 50 pounds in 6 months. The information that will be shared with you today will help you use ChatGPT to count your calories, have meal preparation plans, and workout activities that actually work. And I'm going to be sharing all the prompts with you on this video. The first thing that you would want to know in order to successfully lose this much weight in 6 months is how many calories can you consume in a day. And you're going to want to be able to calculate that by determining your total daily energy expenditure. And how you do that is you would ask ChatGPT to do this for you, and you would need to include your age, your height, your weight, and your current activity level. And this is the prompt that you can use to do that. Now, depending on where you're starting at and how active you are, it may end up giving you a calorie restriction that is perhaps too aggressive for this type of weight loss. Anything over 1,000 calorie restriction off of your baseline would be too much. And quite honestly, at this point, I would want to share that information with you, even though the goal is to do 50 pounds in 6 months. The reality is, if it's unsafe, you really don't want to achieve that because it would just be unattainable and the results would not be worth it. Just push your goals back a little bit. But nevertheless, ChatGPT will give you this information. It'll probably share the same warning that I just did as well. Now that you know what your calorie budget is, you could go ahead and start making plans on how to achieve that limit without going over it. And we're going to talk about that next. But before we do, just wanted to ask, if this is information that's going to be helpful for you or a friend or someone you know that needs to hear this, we just ask that you give us a like and share this information with them. And it also helps us to then share it with more people that need to know this information. So as I was saying, we want to start setting some short-term goals so that you can meet this long-term 6-month goal. And what you want to do is you can set up another prompt, and here it is, with ChatGPT to do exactly that. Now this will break it down into 6 individual 1-month goals. And the nice part is you can ask it to not only give you weight loss goals, but also non-scale goals. In other words, things that aren't measurable just on the scale, but some other things that you could be looking forward to as you go on this 6-month journey. And after you do this, what you want to do is start figuring out how do you make your meals? How do you get the foods that you want to eat for this weight loss journey? And that's another prompt that you would set up with ChatGPT. Now, the nice thing about this prompt is you can also include foods that you like to eat, because the worst thing about trying to lose weight is feeling like you're deprived and not able to eat everything that you want. So you want to include some foods that you like, things that you really, really enjoy. And ChatGPT will put this into your meal plan so that you can still have opportunities to find the foods that you enjoy and get to put them into your weekly allowance. Now, let me explain one more thing here. The nice thing about ChatGPT is it does a lot of work for you, but it can also give you stuff that you don't really need or want. It just accumulates information and then spits it back out. So if you have a lot of foods that just aren't good for you that you're going to put in this list, like a bunch of greasy foods, things that aren't good for your heart or cholesterol, I would ask you to self-regulate that and try to limit that to just a couple, because you don't want to lose weight specifically by limiting your calories, but eating a bunch of food that's also going to make your blood pressure go up or your cholesterol go up. You want to do this in a way that's sustainable and healthy. Now, after you've managed your calorie restriction, have your goals set, and have an idea of what the foods are you're going to eat, the next step is to figure out how can I supplement this with some workout routines. And what you want to do now is ask ChatGPT to put this together for you. And here's the prompt that you can use to do that. Now, the nice thing here is it'll start with where you're at and then build progressively forward for the next 6 months. So you want to tell it how active you are now, and then it'll actually increase that activity. And then I would also ask it in a couple of months to not just do aerobic exercises like walking, but to include things like strength training exercises. And also, if you have a busy lifestyle, if you have to chase after kids or have long work hours, let ChatGPT know that, and it'll build this in too, so it doesn't give you workouts that take 2 or 3 hours to complete. Finally, as you're continuing on this weight loss journey, the nice thing is you will actually start to lose weight. And every month or so, you might actually want to come back and ask ChatGPT to recalculate some of this information for you. Perhaps your weight's down and you might need to readjust your calorie restriction. Or perhaps you're noticing some things that just aren't working at all. You're hitting some plateaus and you're not losing weight. Come back, also use this prompt and allow ChatGPT to know the information that's working and that's not working, and it can make some changes there for you as well. So there you have it. These are all the prompts that you'll need to set up ChatGPT to be your own personal coach to help you lose 50 pounds in 6 months. Now, if you don't make it completely, but you do get some small progress, take it as a win. You don't have to necessarily get 50 pounds in 6 months. Perhaps 50 pounds in 8 months would be just as great. And if you stayed all the way through to this video, we would just ask that you hit our subscribe button here so that you can be alerted to the next videos that come, and also check out one of the other videos that show up on the screen.